Welcome to Marriage Monday with Jeremiah and Savannah Jennings. The Jennings own growing green landscapes and are very happily married. In this podcast, Jeremiah and Savannah discuss the wins, losses, good times, bad times, and everything in between pertaining to owning a business while maintaining a healthy marriage along the way. We hope you enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green Podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and thank you so much for tuning in with us today for another Marriage Monday. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a great weekend, and hopefully you're planning to have a great week ahead. I am joined with my beautiful co-host, Savannah, to start off your week strong. Savannah's here with us this week. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good.
Good. Glad to be here. Glad to be doing this. Glad to be able to come to you for another week. It's crazy how fast time flies. I feel like we put out a Marriage Monday show, and then the next one is just the day after. Like it feels like
we blink and we're sitting here doing another one.
Yeah, it's crazy. Coming up on a year doing these in June, so it'll be here before you know it. It's been super fun. Such a privilege to be able to just come to you all and give a little bit of insight into our lives and kind of how things work for us and roll for us and what all we've got going on and try to just share a little bit of wisdom of things that we're learning along the way. We are not a finished product, but we're a work in progress,
always.
I guess we could say. So We are actually coming to you live from the top of Birmingham tonight. We actually went to an NBA game here in town with some of our friends, and we left Jack with my mom this evening. So big night tonight.
Yeah, we're staying in Birmingham, in downtown Birmingham.
Staying downtown tonight. So first night away from Jack. How are you feeling about that?
I don't know how I feel about it. It's okay. I try not to think about it, but it has to happen, and I think it's a good little warm up.
It's a good warm up. We have a trip coming up for a couple of days. He won't be with us, so it's a good little. We're 30 minutes from him, so not too far at all.
Just one night.
Just one night, and we'll be back shortly here, literally just in a few hours. So, big night, though. It's a big step, and that's something that you as parents probably have all gone through, that you remember that first night you left him. Maybe you haven't left him yet. You got new kids. Then you're figuring it all out. But I know there's a lot of people that listen in are in the same stage of life as us, having kids, being pregnant, just a lot of stuff going on. It's a happy time of life. I love hearing from all of you out there who are in or around the same stage of life. It's an honor to be able to share a little bit of us, because the things that we go through every day, I hope, resonate with some of you. And what we're trying to do in this podcast in this new year is just really continue to grow the relationships and build new ones, but then also just open up a lot of doors moving forward for new topics to be talked about, new things to be discussed about marriage and business, because it's not easy. It's not easy running a business and being married, and it's not easy having a healthy marriage. That's the thing, is there's not many people, we're having this conversation earlier, there's not that many people who have a successful business, have a successful marriage, are parents, and then also kind of put their lives out there and talk about it and try to help other people. And so a lot of you do that, though. There are a lot of guys listening in that I know personally who are giving back to the community, helping other people. And so we take a lot from each and every one of you listening in. And those of you that give me feedback, just messages, Instagram, emails, all kinds of stuff, that it means the world to me that we're building a community around us. And I hope that this year only continues to grow that. It's not easy. Like I said, it's not easy. And I think what I want to get into today is a little bit of what were some of the hard times. I want to go through some of the hard times for us in our 2.5 years of marriage so far. That's insane. We've been married 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years.
I know.
In May. And what are some of the hard times for you? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but what are some of the hard times that come to mind in our marriage when it comes to, because weirdly for us, I've had the business since we got married. It wasn't something that we started on our own.
No.
I mean, it wasn't something I started on my own. I guess we were dating when I started, so I did start
we were
on my
together,
own,
but we weren't married.
Yeah, we weren't married when I started. So, we've had this from day one, and it's been something that we've had to work through of how are we going to navigate these waters of how are we going to build a business but also build a marriage. And I don't know, we've had to do a lot of soul searching, I guess, a lot of late night talks, a lot of arguments, and a lot of discussions have happened over the 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I think looking back on it, it's like, what do you think? Well, for you, what are some of the hard times that you would say? I know it comes to mind for me.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious one that's like, is when you hurt your hand.
Yeah.
That was really hard. For me, I don't know if we consider that like a marriage hard thing. I think that was just like a tough kind of scary time in our marriage, just because there was so much unknown, and it was right in the middle of like busy
it was
season.
Like spring rush, right at the end of spring rush.
Yeah, and you were totally out of work. So that was kind of tough for us, I think.
Yeah, and that so proof is in the pudding example. If you're new to the show listening and you hadn't listened back, I messed my hand up with some hedge trimmers in the summer of 2021 and got them pretty bad. Cut them almost all the way off. But anyway, that was right in the beginning. It was 1st of May, right after spring rush was finishing up. And so we didn't really know. The business was not built, and currently still is not built fully to where it could operate without me.
Yeah.
And
and we had just made you had just made one of your
just bought the
biggest financial purchases in the business at that point. Mm-hmm. So we were banking on, you using, like, you being able to work and using that to bring in more revenue, so that was... it was a downhill. It honestly turned into a downhill, and I think going back on it, I could have done some things different and built some things different. Right. That wasn't a purchase I should have made at the time, but also it was one that that hand just changed. Me messing up my hand changed a lot. But yeah, you couldn't have foreseen that. No, I mean, you couldn't have.
No, there was no way to see that happening. But it was tough because, and it's a huge reason of why I'm trying to take the business to where I'm trying to take it now. Is like, I want to have plan in place to where if something does happen to me, it still runs. It still runs by itself. And like, not even like me being injured, like if I died for some reason, like I don't want you to be stuck with something that is not sellable, or like there's no benefit to you having it. Yeah. And so we are working on getting that in place. We're getting those steps in place, and Bailey working with us now. He's our foreman. He's doing a great job. He's doing amazing so far. He's been able to do a lot on his own. We're learning. We're growing together. We're building trust with each other. We're trying to figure out how each other operate, and we can't wait to see what this year holds. But what we're trying to do is build a team that can operate without me, and that was a tough time because we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and we didn't have that.
It was very uncertain. Luckily, praise the Lord, we didn't have a kid yet. I mean, that would have just changed everything.
That would have been really hard. I mean, I think you've said this before too. You had big plans for 2021. I mean, that's part of buying the truck, and the hand kind of put us really in survival mode. There wasn't really much we did other than try to just keep our heads above water.
And the point in the year when it happened, it turned the whole summer into that, because it took me 3 or 4 months to get totally back to operating like 100%. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so, it definitely threw a wrench in things, and it made it tough. Luckily, we were financially stable. We were fine. Yeah. The business did well.
I think, we talking about hard times, and what made that hard was, I think you never made me feel this way, but I think I felt a lot of pressure. I think I was just nervous and I was scared because there was a time when I was the only one working. Mm-hmm. And, something that you don't get necessarily owning your own business all the time. I don't know how everybody's insurance works. Is like FML, like paid medical leave. Yeah. Like there was none of that. You were just at home, So if you work for a company, like a big company or a clock in, clock out job, you typically will have some type of paid leave if something like that happens that secures you a job, and that's not the case. So I think that was our first time dealing with that, which was tough. Yeah, and I'm thankful that we allowed it and kind of forced it to bring us closer together, because we knew that we needed each other to kind of get through it, because you also that was one of the first times you'd ever needed me, like physically. Like there were things that you couldn't do. So, yeah, it was rough. And advice I would give to anybody out there is you need to look into disability insurance. Yeah. Because if you get hurt out there, then like Savannah's saying, if you don't have some type of health coverage, health coverage isn't going to pay for you not working. But they would at least take care of your medicals. But you should have some type of short-term, long-term disability in case something does happen. You can at least get a little bit of income coming in
that way. So that is a tough time. That's not the one I was thinking.
Well, what comes to your mind? It might come to mind too. I had multiple.
It will 100%. It goes all the way back to the beginning of when we were married. And so remember, take it into consideration. We have the business when we got married. So I'm just time stamping here. This is 2020. COVID's going on. We don't know what's happening. Like, the world is up in the air. We don't know what the business is going to do. I'm trying to grow the business. We're getting married. We're renting a house. We want to find a house to buy. Just a ton of stuff is happening. A lot of stuff is happening. We're moving in together. We're figuring each other out, living together. We had dated for a couple years, but
I think that in and of itself was harder than we kind of like gave it credit for in the beginning. Just learning how to live together.
Yeah, because you get toothpaste from the middle of the tube and not from the bottom.
Okay.
And you put the toilet paper on
this road?
You put the toilet paper on the bottom and not the top. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves in the history of man. Because when you put toilet paper on the roll, you let it roll out the bottom.
I do that only because you want it to go over the top.
You do that now, but you didn't used to. You always done it that way.
Who cares how it goes on?
Like, any house that I go into and it's like that, I change it. Not even joking. Even if it's not my house. There's got to be somebody else out there like that.
Okay.
Whoever's listening that is on the same page as me, shoot me a DM and let me know, or repost it to your story. So I'm not the only one out there. It's so annoying. Like, toilet paper goes over the top. It does not go under the bottom.
You literally wipe your butt with it. Like, why do you care what it looks like?
Ease of access. Ease of access. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like, because if it goes over the top, you can tear it with one hand. If it goes under the bottom, you can't tear it with one hand. You can't put pressure on anything.
What are you doing with your other hand?
Well, you never know. I mean, we're in the 21st century. Everybody's scrolling on their phone while they're, you got your phone in one hand and toilet paper in the other. So, anyway, that was one of the biggest learning curves there with you.
Was it?
But, I'm just kidding. But anyway, figuring each other out, learning to move in together. But then you were also working night shift. And so that was one that was tough for us. I know there's a lot of you listening that are working separate jobs right now, or you're working together, building the business, and you're still working a job, and your spouse works a job. So there's 3 jobs going on in between the 2 of you. That's tough. And so for us, it was the night shift thing. And I know there's somebody out there that's got a spouse that's working night shift somewhere. You know how it is. It's kind of hard to explain it. And some of you guys that plow snow, maybe you get a hint of this, but it's not all the time. You never know when snow is. So, but this was all the time. This was, you were working full time, so it was 3 days a week.
Which is full time in healthcare. Yeah, full time with
the 12-hour shifts. So it was all night.
Yeah.
Every other weekend at the hospital you're at.
Yeah.
It was every other weekend at that point. So every other weekend we weren't going to church. And this was our beginning year of marriage.
Yeah, I think too that we didn't even maybe realize how hard it was while we were in it.
No, we were just living in it.
We just didn't know. That was just what we did, because that was our life. Like, I went to work for 12 hours during the night and got home. You know, I know we've talked about it on here before. We're lucky if we passed each other in the driveway, literally.
No, we would wait. I remember. You would call me or text me and be like, I'm almost home. Just wait 5 more minutes.
I know. I'd be like, please wait in the driveway. I'll be home in 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
crazy.
Same thing. I would a lot of times not have a ton of time to cook, and I would try to throw something in the crock pot before I went to sleep for the day. And then I would usually eat by myself. You sometimes would be able to eat with me, and I would. Yeah,
we worked kind of late that year.
I was gonna say that
was the year that we worked the latest.
Like, if you did that this year, you'd always be home before I left. But you that summer worked late every day, like 6, 7-ish.
Partly because we were moving slower. My hand was cut off, so that was. That was the next summer. Yeah,
that was just your first. one of your first full years. But yeah, that was hard. And again, I don't even think we realized it until we came out of it. Like, we'd almost been in this fog, and I feel like we were so. I don't feel like we went into marriage in the roommate phase, but we were so focused on our own work that I don't even think we even had time to really think about how hard it was.
Yeah.
On us.
There was no time for that.
We didn't have time. It was just, we just did it. It was just part of it.
Yeah, and it was tough. And I would say we still have lingering effects of that, honestly. If we're going to be totally honest here, is because we didn't set up a good foundation when we started. I would say we never got a good routine. It took us
truthfully,
a year and a half.
We still don't. We never have, because my work schedule has changed
Yeah, 3 times, 4 times
since we got married. Years. And it's just like, just when we think we're getting something down, it changes. Or just when we thought we were getting it down, we had a baby. So, like, that's out the window, which can make things a little difficult. So if anyone has any tips on how to continue to make things work when you feel like you have no, like, not routine necessarily, but, like, we need to find something that, like, grounds us, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we're working on that now.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, because we have these things, you know, things that we'd like to do together daily, but we don't feel like we can do that because our schedule changes all the time.
Yeah.
So we're working on that for sure.
Yeah, I think setting actionable, reasonable goals as part of it is we might just not say we can't do it every single day.
Yeah.
We have to do it 3 or 4 days a week instead of 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That way, for the days that you do work, whatever, we would have to do it. But we never even got in, like, plugged into a church until, like, what?
A
2
year
years?
ago.
Yeah, a year and a half after we were married.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like,
that's not cool.
No, it's not good looking back on it. And I think that had a ton to do with it. It's like, we never got in any type of marriage small group. We never got in any type of marriage devotional. Like, we were just working.
Yeah.
We were just working. Literally, it's all we did. We worked, we came home, we'd eat, we'd get up and do it again the next day. And everybody has gone through that. And my goodness, I want to travel. We're sitting here in this hotel room, and the Marriott channel is on, and it's like showing all their locations. And this is the Maldives.
Oh yeah.
When can we book our hut here? Brian Fullerton, when can you take us on your plane to the Maldives and get a over the water bungalow? But anyway, it was tough. Those are some of that was some of the hardest times for us, and I think honestly we don't even remember part of it. It's kind of like a blur.
We didn't really realize we were in a fog until I stopped doing that, and we kind of both got on somewhat of a normal schedule. But yeah, so
what's another one for you? You said you had a couple. Well, guys, thanks for tuning into the show today, and I'm so excited to be bringing to you a new live event in our industry. It's called Synced Live. It's the second annual event, and it's going to be on February the 6th and the 7th of 2023 at the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia. Some of the leaders that are going to be speaking at this event from our industry are Jim McCutcheon, Deborah Cole, Mike Haynes, Jay Worth, Joe Langton, and many more. There's literally probably 10 more on this list that I'm not even reading, so there's going to be a ton of value packed from speakers there. There's also going to be education topics going on in and around the booth at the event. They're going to be talking about recruiting and retaining employees, innovation, automation, and the ROI of automation. There's going to be tons of stuff on that. There's also going to be 70-plus vendors. Now, you don't want to go to a trade show and not see vendors. So, like we said, 70-plus vendors. There's going to be vendors pertaining to porcelain paving, natural stone paving, walling systems, smart measurement, robotic mowers, tech, software, everything in between. It's going to be full of value and full of great vendors and exhibits that we get to go look at and try things out for our business and see how we can make our businesses better in the future. So, like I said, it's our second annual event, Synced Live, February 6th and 7th in Atlanta, Georgia. The 6th is a half a day of the show. The full day is on the 7th, on Tuesday. I can't wait to be a part of this. I can't wait to show up and be there and network, hang out with all of you guys. This is my first year going. If you've never gone, if you didn't go last year, make it out this year, Atlanta, Georgia. It's well worth your ticket price just for the education alone, not even to mention all the vendors and things you're going to get to see and the networking you're going to get to do. So come out and see us in Atlanta on February the 6th and the 7th at Synced Live, Cobb Galleria. We can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the show.
Right after we had Jack, and we're still working. I
don't even remember that part of it. Literally, we were having this conversation the other day. Like, there are some nights I don't remember. Like, I don't remember how they happened.
Yeah, and we're still. I don't know. I wouldn't say that we're still necessarily in survival mode.
We're in a 10 times better place than we were 3 months ago.
Yes, I wouldn't say that we're thriving, but I would say we're doing a little more than surviving.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, like Jack sleeps in his crib in his room. He takes naps during the day. He's on somewhat of a schedule.
I would say for 2 working adults, a business owner, running a podcast, doing stuff outside with friends and family, and raising a 4-month-old, I'd say we're pretty close to thriving, believe it or not.
Oh, would you?
I mean, yeah, believe it or not. I mean, we still have our issues, but there's definitely, we're doing pretty good. Like,
I think I'm just always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah,
Like, I feel
it's
like
so up in the air
things
because
have
he can
got-
change so
Yes,
fast.
that's the thing. Like, we're just waiting on something.
I mean, like I don't really want to talk about it, but we're really a week into this whole 4-month sleep regression, and it hasn't really happened yet.
well, it doesn't.
When is it
It's
supposed
not
to
like
happen?
clockwork at 4 months.
Well, we'll see.
It can happen anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Oh my goodness, I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
I'm just counting down the weeks.
But I think having Jack, I think any parent would probably agree that can be a tough time because for a lot of different reasons. I mean, I could go on about this all day, but I will not. Just all of the changes that happen. I mean, having a baby, turns your world upside down. But then also you're both changed because you now have this baby and all of your priorities and responsibilities have shifted. So I think it just causes you to have different, like I said, priorities. And you're kind of getting to know a new version of yourself and then also getting to know this new version of your partner and kind of learning how to like work through that and get to know them together is challenging while raising a baby.
Yeah.
So it's tough. And, I won't go into it all, but, like postpartum, there's always hormones and things like that affect every woman differently. So that can make things a little more difficult sometimes as well. But yeah.
Part of it, I think, is this kind of transitioned off what we were talking about is we were both working. And I don't even think we realized this. Like I said, we didn't realize this in the moment, but we were both just trying to do our own, like, not build our own careers, but we were just caught up in what we were doing.
Yeah.
Every single day, we were just doing, like, just going with the flow. And so, not that we weren't working towards a common goal of, like, making our future better, but now that, like, when you have a kid, like, that really puts you on the same common goal.
Yeah.
At least for us, it did. Like,
yes.
Now we're doing this for, like, our family moving forward. Like, every time you go to work, we're doing this for our family. Every time we go out and put out a new estimate or send out a bid or put out in a long hours in a day, like, those are all things that we're like, it's a common goal now, and we have a purpose for why we're doing it. And I think that makes it easier, maybe.
Yeah,
like
it does.
It makes it your spouse understands.
You're more likely
it more.
to have grace with the
Yes.
other two when like, okay, we're doing this for him, we're doing this for our family. It helps some of the selfishness, like, to kind of take that away when you stop and think about that you both have the same goal and the same, I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it keeps us on the same page, and it keeps us from hopefully not, like, I think we've actually done better about, like, jumping down each other's throats about stuff, like,
yeah,
in a sense, maybe, like,
yeah,
he's just kind of, it's made it to where we're really just to the point of, like, we can't get upset with something that the other person says because it can be frustrating. Like, we had this conversation, and it's anything said between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m. doesn't count.
yeah,
Like,
just because the sleep deprivation
yeah,
is
the
so
sleep
real.
deprivation. But then during the day, like, if he's screaming, crying, and, like, this is something I think we've worked through to this point, through the last 4 months.
Yeah.
First 2 months is tough because you take it personally. You take
when
it,
you're
still
hormonal
adjusting.
and you're tired,
Yeah.
and it's all still so new.
You're still adjusting to this life, but, like, he could be screaming his head off, and you're not frustrated with the other person. You just need a burp cloth, or you just need a bottle, or whatever it is. But you make it sound like you're aiming it at the other person when you're really not.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've had to work through.
Yes.
Is explaining, like, I'm not upset with you. I need to do a better job about the way it comes out, but I'm just telling you, like, I'm not upset. This is just what's happening.
Yeah, and to talk about your favorite topic, I think just communication has been a big deal because I think we're finally starting to be able to work through this whole, like, just telling the other what's going on or what's upsetting instead of trying to say, like, oh, nothing, it's fine, or whatever, it's just Jack, or nothing, I'm fine. Just being upfront and honest, like, it's not you. I'm not upset with you. I'm upset about the situation, or I need this, or whatever. And I think the other person is more understanding and more graceful. So that was a lot of rambling. I think we have definitely had some like hiccups in our marriage. Nothing so serious that I would consider like super hard times. We've only been married almost 3 years, so we know that we're not naive to the fact that we haven't had a lot of life happen to us yet. So we know that those things are coming, but these little things I think are helping shape the way that we'll react to the big things. So we're trying to acknowledge them and think about what we did do in those situations that worked and what we did that didn't work, so that when bigger things happen and when life continues to happen, we know what works for us and what doesn't work for us as far as working through that.
I feel like the analogy you could use there, and maybe, I don't know, this makes sense to me, but like, God's never going to bless you with a lot of money until you know how to handle the little amounts of money. So like,
or
if you
not necessarily just money, just anything.
Yeah, anything. But that's just the common one. It's like, how are you going to get through tough times if you don't know how to handle the not so like they're tough, but not just the big stuff?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to go through the big stuff when you can't handle the small stuff?
Yeah.
When you're chewing each other's throats out because Jack's mad or whatever, like you're upset. What are you going to do with like you have 3 kids screaming and one of your parents is sick and you're running all over the place and stuff's going on?
Yeah, because like crap happens. It's inevitable. Life is going to happen, and are you prepared to handle it? Like I think us sitting here talking about
these are building blocks along the way.
Yes, so it's important to have the conversations of how you've handled previous situations or hard times or things that you would consider hard times in your marriage to see, hey, this worked, this didn't work. How, like, not that it's fun to sit around and be like, how are we going to react when something really bad happens to us? But it's important to be prepared because that's a lot of the reason that couples don't make it. Life happens and they don't prioritize protecting their marriage. You have to prioritize protecting your marriage for it to be successful.
I would say put a plan in place. Like you need to have some type of plan to combat these issues as they arise. You need to have some type of structure of what have you done over the years as you've worked through the little things to build up to the big things, because it's going to come. Like if you haven't gone through anything big yet, it's going to come. We haven't. Yeah. We know that. We'll look back on this show and say, oh, remember when we did that? We were so young and naive. We didn't even know what was coming. And it could be tomorrow. Like it could literally be tomorrow when something happens. But we need to remember that we have each other first off. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that marriage has not marriage, parenting has taught me.
100%
is
same.
Like, you jumped on each other's throats, that benefits no one. Like,
right. Like,
we are the team.
Yes. And I think, too, a lot of times when you talk about being on the same team and you are, or when you're in an argument or you're going through something tough and you're just so frustrated and upset and you have something ugly to say or you're just not in the mood or whatever, like, I just try to ask myself, like, what is this action or what are these words, like, what is this going to benefit? Like, what's my end goal with this? Like, is my end goal to, like, be ugly and make him feel bad? And if that's my goal, then I need to take a step back and rethink about why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because a lot of the times, if you think about it that way, it will cause you to rephrase or rethink what you want to do next. Because I think, with your actions and your words, like they can be a lot more harmful than you mean for them to, especially when you're in the moment. So taking a step back to say, okay, what do I want to accomplish with this? Like, what's my end goal here? Can cause you to kind of rethink and determine your next steps.
Yeah, you need to have a plan in place, but then you also, before you react to anybody or anything, any scenario, you just need to ask yourself, are we on the same team?
Well,
Are we on the same team at the end of the day?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're on the same team, and it goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, we're on the same team. I'm still mad. Like, you can still be frustrated, but what's your goal with what you're with what you're saying? Like,
are you just letting your frustration out, like to let them be known? Like, if you need to just let them know you're frustrated, just make sure you're doing that in a respectful way.
And to be totally honest, that's something that I've been pretty bad at in the past. I'll just vent. And Jeremiah thinks that I'm upset with him or I'm frustrated with him. So if we've gotten to a point where I've had to kind of say, like, I'm not upset with you. I understand. Like, we're on the same team. Like, I need to vent. And then it comes out as a way of just, like, getting my frustration out. But then he's also aware the whole time that it's not at him. Instead of letting it build in him this whole time I'm complaining, think, oh, she's upset with me for X, Y, and Z, or I should have done this because she's upset or whatever.
Yeah. It's tough. This has been kind of a more not a upbeat, super lively episode. It's just been a real one. It's been one that I hope you all know. If you're new in business, if you're young in business, you're not married yet, you're engaged, or you're looking to find someone, then it's not going to be easy. Like, it's just not going to. It's not going to happen. You're not going to have an easy marriage. If you have a good marriage and if you have a good business, it won't be easy. It's just like walking the Christian journey. If you're living Christian life the way you're supposed to, it's not going to be easy. That's not what God calls you to. It's not. You're not called to an easy life.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what are you like? How's your life producing? It's going to be worth it. And so
it's not always easy, but it's always worth it.
Yeah, it's always worth it in the end. So ask yourself, are you on the same team? That's one thing that you need to ask yourself and your spouse this week is make sure you're on the same team when you combat new issues, things that arise. When you hit those things head on, you need to hit them head on, and you need to tackle those things, but just make sure you're doing it in the right way with the right attitude and making sure your spouse feels loved and taken care of, because those are some things that we've struggled with in the past couple of years of being married, and hopefully we are on the right track to changing, and I hope that it's helped a little bit of you out there some way, somehow today, and hopefully will help you in the future. Maybe you're listening down the road, then hopefully we've got a lot of this figured out, and we are helping you in other areas in life. So anyways, that is going to wrap this show up. I hope that it has been of some benefit to you. If it was, leave us a rating and review, a big 5 stars. Those are super helpful. They take 30 seconds. Just drop one down below, podcasts and the Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Really helps boost us out there so we can continue to go to the community one relationship at a time. But without any further ado, that's going to be us. That's going to be it for this one, and we're going to be signing off from High Top Birmingham. We'll catch up with everybody here on the next episode.